Have you ever had some big life changes come your way? And what I mean by big life changes, I'm not talking about graduating from high school, even though that could be considered a big life change. Um, you could think of getting married as a big life change. But I'm talking now to my senior sisters. We've already graduated from high school. We've gotten married. We've had children. And we've worked. In addition to being a wife and a mother, we've taken care of others. We've been caregivers to our parents and maybe even to aunts and uncles, and maybe to spouses, adult children, grandchildren. So I look at those things as big life changes, especially when you've become an empty nester and then now you're helping to take care of your grandchildren or your spouse. So how can we still use our creativity and manage through these big life changes instead of allowing these changes to stop us from our creative time? We actually embrace these big changes but keep right on going with these big life changes. But we keep right on going with our creative side. We don't let anything derail us. And that is easier said than done. I can say that for certainty. And for myself personally, now like when you have an unexpected ER visit, hospital stay, your creativity is put on hold. But once you're back home, then you really need to pick it back up. Because the longer you stay away from it, then it's not going to help you heal or feel happy with yourself. So I learned that after the loss of my mom. That was definitely a big life change. And even though sometimes we expect, eventually we know everyone grows old and dies right now. I mean, that's the way it is. And so, but when it happens, it's very painful. So that was my latest big life change that I can say. It did throw me for a loop, and it kind of stalled my creativity. So as I'm talking to you, I'm putting the finishing touches on some cards that I'm making for a custom order for a customer, my Etsy shop. And you can find the link to my shop in the description below. So isn't it adorable? Aren't they both adorable? Absolutely gorgeous. And these are both for little baby girls, but she wanted a beach theme for one, and definitely said pink for the other one. So I did not have any kind of pink for the beach theme. This is what I had on hand, and I decided to make these very affordable for her. And so, I said, you know what? I told her they're going to be simple. They're going to be made with what I already have on hand. If I have to spend any money on anything, that cost obviously is passed on to the customer. And she had limited funds, so I didn't want to do that. So I said, let me just go with what I have, and I know you're absolutely going to love it. So just let me know in the comments what you think about these two adorable little cards, and I'm just so tickled pink over it. Obviously, I can't show you what's going to go on the inside because that's the personal information and the names and all that kind of thing. So, but I mean, I just can't. Every time when you create something, a lot of you I know don't have a business, but even when you make things just for your family and friends, and you know that feeling you get when you finish something and look at how beautiful it turned out. This is done. This is really done. And I love it. Absolutely love it. I used my little die cutting machine for the little banners. Aren't those adorable? Absolutely beautiful. And my, little embellishments, beach themed embellishments, a bucket, a starfish, cheesecloth for sand, and little sequins and a little gem, little treasure that you would find at the beach. And then the flat back gems to give that little sparkly, the silver foiled letters. Absolutely think that is gorgeous. This one obviously says congrats, and then baby themed, little one, playful, angel, cuddle, adorable, snuggle, sweet baby. I mean, it's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And these are fleshly sisters, and they have, a special meaning for it. So then I put gems here and here and here and here and here. And then this little flower here. I mean, absolutely beautiful. And she wanted a pink bow on this one. She didn't say anything about a bow on this one. But I thought, and then to put a pink bow, I said, I don't know. So I'm going to tie a bow in another color that would complement this from what I have. So I'm thinking I could go with this green, because that would pick up some more of the green here. Or I may go with a softer blue that's in my stash. So I'm thinking, but I was like, because pink definitely is going to fight with it. That's not going to look good. But the green, I'm thinking I may go with that. Or I may just leave it like this and not add any of another bow or anything. So let me see, do I have any twine that would go with that? Let's see what we have. No, not really. Okay. So I'm gonna leave it like that. And so these two beautiful cards are done. And then she also, with her order, is going to come 2 of my Sunshine Stitch letter clubs and the paper crafting. So I offer sewing option, add-on, gifts, or the paper crafting embellishments. And it could be a kit, mini kit, whatever fits in these little envelopes. So it could be a mini sewing kit, it could be a mini paper crafting kit, and a handmade finished element piece. So that's what's going to be going. So hers are both paper crafting. So these are the 2 envelopes. And I have the club starting in October, and then there's November and December for 2025. And then I'm starting on the 2026 collection. And so I'm super excited for this whole thing. And it's going to take on a new name, so it's going to be called Sunshine Stitch and Crafters Club. And so your welcome letter will have that as the title. So, I mean, I'm just extremely excited and pleased with this and how it turned out. So, I just get so excited with everything. Now, that I do for my customers. Let me put this is my die cutting machine. This is an interesting thing. This plastic became very sticky, and it wasn't like glue, nothing, it wasn't coming off on me, but I used wax paper because I just didn't like the way it felt. So I'm going to put that back over here on the shelf where it belongs. And then hopefully, yep, there we go. Pushed it back on the shelf. Now, today's project is going to be, I'm going to be getting back, I'm going to put my die cutter, this is a little sleeve that goes through the machine. I got to put it right here where I won't lose it. And so I was thinking, I want to get back into working in my Sew Stitching Softbook samplers with you all. And so since this is a stitching theme, collaboration, and sometimes it might be paper crafting. I've put that in there as well, but we're mainly sticking with stitching right now. Definitely going to be doing a lot of sewing for 2026, and I'm still doing my monthly giveaway. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Marcia. Thank you for being here with me. And I am hosting a monthly giveaway here on my channel. And I'm giving away $5 shop credits to everyone who comments and joins my Sunshine Makers Club. That's my email list. Then you will, at the end of the month, you'll get an email with a coupon for $5 off a $10 purchase in my Etsy shop, Markets of Sunshine. And so for October, or was that September? I can't remember when I started it. I think I did do it September. Anyway, I subscribed to Daphne's Diary magazine. And so I decided that I wanted to do junk journals out of the covers. So this is the front cover of the first issue that I received, which was the number 4, 2025. And then I made another journal out of the back cover, and I did a drawing, and I just sent that off to its recipient. And so she's received it. She was very happy with it. And so I am going to be doing this every month, except for October I didn't. Yes, I did. It was September. Okay. So it took me the rest of October to finish it, and then I just mailed it to her. But I am working on a November journal that is a fall themed journal. It's not Daphne's Diary, and that one is really, really cute. And I will put a link in the description box below for you to watch that video. But so I will be making that one for someone here on my channel to have the opportunity to win, who leaves comments, who subscribes to my YouTube channel, and joins my mailing list, Sunshine Makers Club. Okay, so commenting, all the stuff that you already know what to do. And so today's video, we are going to do some stitching in the samplers. And so I've decided that I'm going to continue to gift little mini soft books in with $20 or more orders. And they're various, patterns and fabrics and laces that come with it. And this is has 2 pages that I made for this one. And this was my sample, my little sample that I made here to show you. And then I decided, let's give them away in orders. And so let me show you my soft books that I've been working on. And then in the videos to come, I'll talk about different themes like today's, Stitching Through Big Life Changes, which means just don't drop your creativity just because something happens. Pick it back up as soon as you can and use it as a healing tool. That's what I did, and it worked beautifully. And then next thing I knew, I was out of the blues and the crying and all that. And I'm back to creating, and I feel so wonderful, and I'm so happy. So let me show you the 5, and then we're going to pick one each week, and we're going to work in it. Okay, so here they are. 5 of them, just like I said, and in every color of the rainbow. So my first one was this beautiful pink. Isn't it gorgeous? Don't you just love it? And so I started off making a video, and I don't even know how many years ago, 2, I think it was, and did the cover. And then this particular cover wound up being a kit in my Etsy shop, and that was when I first introduced slow stitching kits in my shop. And it's just, everybody loves it. It's just wonderful. And I included a heart embellishment, a beaded heart embellishment. It comes already made, applique that you can add, stitch in. and you can put it on the cover wherever you want it. And so this absolutely has been a one that is near and dear to my heart because it was the first one that I designed. And this fabric, I have run out of it. So I said in all my videos that, you know, once I run out of things, this is a vintage fabric, I will replace it with something as close as I can get. And I don't even remember now what it is that I'm using, but I think it was something I found at my mom's and her fabric stuff and whatever. So this one, I mean, I have just been enjoying immensely how each of these pages have been turning out. I mean, it's just, they're absolutely beautiful, adorable. So this was the page that I left off on. I needed to add the teapot and the flower. Everything is pinned. Ew. There's a pin over here, and I don't know what it was supposed to be holding on to there, but I better take him out before I get poked. And then just some laces that I put over here. Very pretty. So I'm going to put this in my pin cushion. And so I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, you know, I don't know, but somehow I want something to be behind the teapot. I don't want to just put it in the book looking like that. So I'm going to think about what it is that I want to do with it. And let me move on to the others. So the next book in the collection was this purple one. And it was a kit as well. And it's still there in my shop. It's available. And it comes with the bird and the flower and the heart, I believe, in that kit. I know the bird and the flower. And then the pages on the inside, of course, are just, you know, the blank pages. And some fabrics for you to decorate the cover with. And then the rest of the pages with, you would have to purchase or buy, use up your own stash of whatever fabrics you wanted to put on the pages. But it's just to make the cover. And this kit, absolutely beautiful. It's been so much fun to come up with so many fun ideas of what to put. It's just, here's my Sunshine Makers Club right there, my little label. And so each of these is just, you know, so unique and so much fun. And it just, endless creative fun with these books, because, you know, depending on how many pages you put in it, I think I put 6 in them with the kids. And so, I mean, that gives you, what is that, 32? 6, 12, 18, 24 pages. I mean, that's a lot of sewing pages. This one, the cover, oh, this was so much, just the imagination, you know, how it just unlocks your creativity and sparks imagination is what's so much fun in making each of these, just individually, and the covers, making them all so different. And so I had this little vintage clock themed piece of fabric that was given to me, and I do not remember, I know I came across it somewhere else. I believe it was in some ribbon. And then I have another piece of it that is just, was cut off of this, that came also with, it was just like leftovers from one of my acquaintances online, and she just sent me a bunch of her leftover fabrics from her projects. And so it had a woman with a hat and like a Paris theme, and then the clocks. So I said this piece was like, I'm going to keep it for a special project, and this wound up being the project. And then we went to this wonderful little vintage antique barn. It's called the Red Barn over in Osteen, Florida. near where I live. And so I was like, I want a vintage brooch for the cover of this. And then this little flower basket in the, obviously in the blues. And it was so beautiful. I loved it. And so I want to go back over there. It's been a number of years since I was there. So I said, I want to go back over there this winter because there's no air conditioning. So I said, I got to wait until the cold weather comes and then we can take a little drive over there. It's about a half an hour drive. It's, but it's still doable for me. And so I love vintage things. And there's a dress company called Dogwood Lane, and these are buttons. And it's the dresses that are, country style with ceramic buttons. And so I was able to purchase a small collection off of eBay a few years ago. And within there was a bunny and then the kitties and all kinds of cute little ceramic buttons. So I put those in this little soft book. And I think yes, I think this was the next one that I did. Love this. This is the Laura Lee Designs fabric. I have kits in my shop that I put together, and I embellish the front page. It's already stitched and buttons added to it. A panel comes with the kit ready for you to use in a soft book and a quilt, whatever you wanted, wall hanging. And then this was my landscape soft book sampler. And so ones that I was collaborating with my friend Linda Coker over at Icky Chic. And so then this one here I did myself. So I want to add, more of my landscaping pieces. So we're going to be doing that for sure in upcoming videos. So get ready for some landscaping, slow stitching fun. And then last but not least, this is more like my inspirational gratitude. This was a little kit that I got from Linda's shop. And it says, when the road's rough and the journey long, your spirit is resilient, brave, and strong. You're cared for deeply, your value immense. In this life you matter, in present and future tense. And so this is definitely our core values. We have to remember who we are at our core, and that we're valuable, and that we matter, and that we're strong, and that we're brave, and that we're resilient. All of these things are what help us get through those big life changes. So I thought, how appropriate was this saying with the theme of this video? And so this sampler is a little bit different. And I just started putting colors together. I didn't have a green one. I didn't have a, this one was more like going to be my orange one. So this one isn't really in the green. This is more like in the orange family. So I'm thinking I might just start a green book and take these out. I haven't really decided yet 100%. But it was just more or less for my creative fun. And I've got pages pinned together. So when I pinned this page, then this page here, this got stuck to that page. So you can see my house. That was right there that I did. One of my tiny houses. So, but this was the last one. So this book is still like a pondering. I am pondering, what am I really doing with it book. But I do definitely love this whole positive, connecting back with your core values, yourself, building that sense of safety and trust is very important. And in one of my last videos for my 40 plus creative community, my podcast playlist, if you go to that one, then you will see where I'm just talking to you and sharing some of my garden and my kitty cat and just life, my perspective on things. And in that video description box are 2 websites that I have found that I use that has helped me with my health journey and healing journey. And one of them, both of them really focus on and are centered on for our health recovery is feeling and thinking this way about ourselves, remembering who we really are, not putting on a mask, not pretending, not putting on pretenses, not trying to people please, not letting ourselves be guilt-ridden, shamed, overwhelmed, or angry or resentful because we have to do things for others or take care of our parents or whatever it was, or mistreated or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it's a video that I would say, highly recommend, and then to check out those 2 websites. If you have health anxieties and health issues that are unresolved, and it helps you to take off the labels that conventional medicine slaps on you, or even in the health industry altogether. That's how they make their money. And so finding out who you are not your illness. So check out those videos. Anyway, so I'm sitting here thinking, okay, which one of these, I'm not ready to do a landscape today. Ooh, here's a pen here. I don't even know why that one's there. I thought I finished this. Wow. Ooh, I got to take that out of there. Goodness gracious. Okay. And this, I got to fasten him down a little bit. He's a little bit going wild there on me. So this series is a weekly Wednesday series, and I know it's coming out late. I usually do it in the morning, but I had a medical appointment today, and I've had a custom order that I showed you in the beginning, and it's been a little involved with that order, so I'm sorry that it's going to come out later today than I anticipated. But what I'm going to do is just pick one of these, start working in it, and then we're going to just do some stitching. And I'm not really sure where we're going to go with it, but I'm thinking we're going to go back to the pink one because that seems to be the one that has a page ready for me to work on. So I'm going to take these other beauties and put them back where they were. And then we will get started over here. Open it back up to where I left off. Right here. Okay. And then I'm going to go ponder what I'm going to do with this teapot and flower, and then we'll get busy stitching. Let me pull this out of here. This was something I was working on the other day, but I don't want to waste all that lace on that. But it's given me an idea. So this is what I came up with. I put some black and gold fabric behind it so that it would make the little teapot stand out. And then I put the white lace behind that. So that's what I'm going to stitch on this page. And then next video I will start stitching on the other page. But I think that's where I will leave it for now. And in next week's video on Wednesday, which I will be back to my schedule because I won't have any unexpected events going on, hopefully, we will be talking about stitching through the seasons. And it can be anything that inspires you from nature, colors that we find in nature. What feeling does it give you, evoke in you? And so we're going to talk more about that, and we're going to do some more stitching in our Slow Soft Book Sampler. So thank you for joining me here today, and I look forward to seeing and reading all of your comments, and I would love to know what helps you to continue your creativity through life big changes, and leave me a comment below. So stay smiling and sunny and stitching in the sunshine. Bye-bye.